Tonight we're celebrating 6 years, bro. I don't know what exactly we're celebrating. 6 years of Dynamite, and all I can really focus on, they put this 2-minute video package together, and I see Cody Rhodes and CM Punk in this video package, and I reminisce on older times where you and I were a lot happier, older times where things were right, older times where things were exciting and fun and good. And they had people there that actually cared about the show and creative that wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it was exciting and you look forward to watching the show. I don't get that. You don't get that. Barely anybody gets that anymore on this show. Celebrating 6 years of this show, bro. I don't know exactly what we're celebrating, and all I could go back and think of is we're celebrating 6 years. And this is the worst year that they've ever had creatively, man. It sounds like, it looks like, it feels like we're celebrating mediocrity. I don't know exactly what we're celebrating, but maybe you have a better answer than I do.
We're celebrating the existence of a second major promotion in the United States where our favorite wrestlers can go somewhere and earn a significant living for their family and their loved ones. And they're not pigeonholed to have to work in WWE or be banished to the Shadow Realm.
Sure, that's a fantastic answer, bro. Fantastic answer. So why don't they book themselves like a real pro wrestling show then?
What?
With storylines and things that make sense, and not insulting the fans' intelligence.
Well, I'll tell you what they do book. They book a lot of wrestling. Okay, so they do that. They book a lot of wrestling.
Sure,
there's lots of wrestling.
Sure.
So there's that. They book plenty of wrestling. They do matches, and those matches have outcomes with wrestlers in them.
Dead crowds, lifeless crowds, empty arenas. What else? What else are we missing?
Glass half full. Glass half full, sir.
Sure. I don't know. I usually leave it up to you, man. I usually just kind of piggyback off of you. What do you want to talk about? What was the biggest takeaway from this fucking 2.5-hour mess that we saw tonight celebrating 6 years?
El Idolo.
Oh, man. Our guy Andrade, El Idolo is back, man.
Idolo, he's back. Bro, he's back and everything is right in the world. They're going to push him as a top baby face because Will Ospreay is out and Swerve is out and they need baby faces. And since he's been out for a long time, they can bring him back because, absence make the heart grow fonder, come with that big pop. And then you got a top baby face to book in the main of. He's a heel. What do you mean he's a fucking heel? They didn't put him in the Don Callis family, did they?
Huh? The Don Callis family, there's like fucking 18 of them in there already. How many more do we need?
They put him in the Don Callis fucking family. Okay. All right. At least there was only one addition to the Don Callis family tonight. Right?
No! Come on, man. I don't know, man. I think you're ribbing me, bro.
Oh my God.
You think that they stopped at Andrade, bro? That was it for tonight.
Oh my God. Do they add 2 members every week?
They added a second member tonight, folks. They added a second member tonight. You're not gonna guess who it is, man. Oh my God. Jesse is so excited about this newest edition, bro.
My God, bro. I had a theory. And I'm sitting around wondering about that theory. Is Hologram really hurt? Did he actually go out? Or did they just put a tattoo on his chest and call him somebody different?
I think he's hurt. I was told by someone that it is legit. It is a legit injury, even though I can joke. And we could all joke because that's the first thing that we usually go to, that Tony pulled him because he wanted to preserve the undefeated streak. Tony pulled him because we made fun of it, and it was just a stupid match to begin with for the TNT Championship. And now Jesse called it the week prior. Why Hologram hasn't gotten a championship match, and then lo and behold, he gets a championship match the very next week.
Championship match, and then he gets jumped, and then he's hurt all of a sudden.
And then he's gone, bro, like a fucking like Batman in Gotham, man. He's gone.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, we get his doppelganger out here, and he's healthy and ready to go. And where do they put him? Don Callis Family.
Oh my God, man! This show is fucking awful. It is awful.
Like they just turned hologram heel. No, I mean, is that what just happened essentially?
They turned. I don't know what the fuck the whole point of evil hologram is. El Clon. That's his name. El Clon. Without the E. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's talk about Andrade. Andrade got fired from WWE for reasons. I know the real reasons. I am not at liberty to discuss. Maybe one day they'll come out. I know the real story. I can't say anything because it would make worldwide viral news here. Andrade, I love Andrade. I think Andrade is fantastic. I think Andrade, I mean, there's just so much untapped potential there. It is fucking scary how good he is. And he was in WWE, we all know. March 21st, 2021, he eventually left WWE after a successful black and gold run, only to be butchered on the main roster by Vince McMahon and Johnny Laurinaitis. June 4th, he arrived in AEW in 2021. That was after leaving WWE just months prior. December 30th, he leaves AEW 2023. I was there at the Nassau Coliseum for that World's End show where he wrestled Rusev or Miro. January 27, 2024, he showed up in the Royal Rumble. And then September 13th of this year, he leaves the WWE for reasons. He was fired without any 90-day non-compete, and he was gone. October 1st, tonight, he arrives back in AEW after a party match, because there's always a party match in AEW. Six-man tag team match with the Elite and Kenny Omega and Brodito. Kenny Omega cut a promo on 6 years in AEW. After the match, the lights go out, and Andrade, wearing a mask, his signature mask, he reveals himself there, and he attacks Kenny Omega to then join the Don Callis family, who immediately gets in the ring. They shake hands, and he's now the new-fledged member of the Don Callis family. Now, a lot of people, Jesse, insinuated that Andrade would never go back to AEW. Tony would never take him back because he left AEW the first time to go back and work for Triple H, thinking that it was going to be a lot better that Vince McMahon's not there. That did not happen. Triple H, in a lack of a better way to say it, he dropped the ball with Andrade. I think Andrade really didn't amount to anything there in his second run in WWE. A lot of just what if. The most notable thing that he did was wrestle Carmelo Hayes in an unofficial best-of-7 series that went nowhere. It didn't even result in a United States Championship run for him. Then they pair him with Rey Fenix, and it was just an oddball pairing because you think Rey Fenix, you think Penta. You don't think Rey Fenix and think Andrade as his tag team partner. They wrestled at SummerSlam in a big 6-team ladder match, and then that was the last we've really seen of him, and then he was gone, not too long after that. And now he's back in AEW. But Tony, apparently, he had a lot of great things to say about Andrade when he left in 2023 after that year's World's End. And the door, from what Tony said, was always open for Andrade to come back. The way he left was respectable to Tony Khan. So a lot of people were surprised to see him back. And I will say this. I'm glad that he's on television because I think he's way too talented to not be on television. That's number one. Number two, and I don't believe I'm going to say something positive here. I know, shocking news here. I'm going to say something positive. AEW immediately bringing Andrade back, even though it is the Don Callis family, have paired him with a mouthpiece. This is something that WWE didn't even attempt to do in his second run and let this guy run wild all by himself. His English is terrible. He's not gotten any better. He has shown no progress in getting better. So upon coming back to AEW, just like the first time, they paired him with Vicky Guerrero. That really didn't go nowhere. Then Chavo Guerrero. That didn't really go nowhere. Jose the Assistant was the best representative for Andrade. I don't know why they didn't bring a Jose back and pair him with that was the best pairing that Andrade had as far as a mouthpiece other than Zelina Vega. So at least they paired him with a mouthpiece that's going to do the speaking for him. The problem is, Jesse, that there are 67 other members in the Don Callis family. And like everybody in that group, as talented as you are, you're going to fade into the background and you're not going to really stand on your own as the talented guy you are because you're sharing the spotlight with other multi-talented guys. Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita. You got how many other guys that Josh Alexander's in there. So I don't like the pairing for that specific reason, because he's there and he's sharing the spotlight when he should be someone that should be given his own spotlight, his own mouthpiece, away from all that noise. And they're just putting him in the group that I designated as a glorified jobber group outside of Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, and Kazuchika Okada. Everybody else is like a fucking bench player. They just come on in and sub in when they're needed. They're put in these random tag team matches, 6-mans, 8-mans, just to fucking lose. They don't really go nowhere. Their momentum is stifled. So at least they aided him in getting him a mouthpiece, but I can't sit here and tell you I'm excited about Andrade being back on AEW television and automatically going to the one group that everybody goes to. I don't know what the whole fucking dominant Don Callis family narrative is, but man, it's fucking embarrassing. And how many fucking people do you need in one group? Andrade doesn't belong there.
No. A lot of people don't belong there. A lot of people don't belong there. You can't tell me Don Callis was the only mouthpiece they have.
No.
You can't tell me that. I mean, the best version of Andrade we got is when he was with Zelina Vega. So, I mean, I would have set up something to give him a young, good-looking Latina mouthpiece that can speak for him and give him that very same setup. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have one, hire one. How hard can it be? How hard can it be to find a good-looking, well-speaking Latina manager to go put on TV with Andrade?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It can't be that hard. I'm sure you have somebody on the payroll already. I mean, the Don Callis family, bro, this is getting out of control. I don't know if this is just a meme at this point, but it feels like every heel in the whole company is either the Don Callis family or the Death Riders.
And then they don't go anywhere, bro. What do they do with them?
They don't go anywhere. You're already having conflicts. You got Okada and Takeshita already conflicting there. I mean, what's going to happen when Andrade tries to get gold that Kyle Fletcher thinks he should have? There's going to be conflicts there. And maybe that's a part of the fucking story or whatever. But thing is, no one cares about a conflict in a heel faction like that. It would be a babyface faction that would have conflicts. Then people would get all concerned, like, "Oh no, they're not gonna break up, are they?" That would suck. Cause we like these baby faces. With a heel faction, like they threaten to break up, like good, let them break up. You don't give a shit. You don't like them. We're supposed to boo them. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this dynamic of putting all of these heels, all who are trying to get a big push. They are not in the same. In the same lane, they are not on the same page. They can't coexist. The only one that wants them all to be together is Don Callis. You know, everybody else, you got a bunch of guys who should be on their own, and then you got the other half of the Don Callis family. They're all jobbers, and collectively, it's a big clusterfuck. It's a big clusterfuck. How does anyone stand out? How does anyone get over? How does anyone advance? I don't quite get it, man. They're not even getting to the point where it's going to be a big pop if one of them turns babyface. I mean, because they're not getting over as heels effectively. Kyle Fletcher, I'll say, is the only one that is effectively getting over as a heel right now in the Don Callis family. Everyone else is yet to be seen.
Well, how are you going to play that same card with everybody that's in the group? Because they're playing that card right now with Takeshita, who's teasing tension with Okada. So he's the one that's going to leave the group and go babyface. Everybody else is going to be fucking stuck there for the rest of eternity. Like, what are you going to do with everybody? You want to know? I don't want to stereotype the fucking guy, but I'll tell you exactly what they're going to do. They're going to put Andrade and team him with Hechicero because they're both fucking lucha. That's what they're going to do.
Oh, they have plenty of people they can pair with him, bruh.
I mean, well, they're pairing Josh Alexander with Hechicero right now. That doesn't work. They're going to pair Andrade with the other lucha, and they're going to call them a tag team. That's the extent of Andrade and AEW.
Isn't his cousin there? Isn't Roosh still there?
Yes, Roosh is on Ring of Honor. That's how stupid they are.
They compare him with his...
They put him in the Don Callis family, and fucking Roosh is fucking playing make-believe with Sammy Guevara.
Bro, put him with Roosh, make them a tag team, get them a mouthpiece, and you have tag team fucking champions right there. New Lucha Bros right there on your goddamn channel. Easy.
Dude, we could have came up with 3 or 4 different things for this guy to do to come on in, and they did the worst fucking thing of all. Pair him in the Don Callis family.
Bro, I forgot about Roosh. I would have put him with Roosh. They could be these guys could be babyface or heels. They're both great at both. Roosh is over. Roosh is over as a babyface. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Crowd's all into it.
So what did we determine here? We obviously have determined that Andrade needs a mouthpiece. They failed to bring a beautiful Latina woman into the fucking mix, which I'm assuming they could have gone out and gotten anybody. They failed to do that. They could have brought him back and got Jose to come back, Jose the assistant to come back. They didn't want to go and do that. I would have gladly paid Jose to pair him with Andrade because he was a great representation of Andrade. Then you got Roosh and Tralistico and LFI. But no, Sammy Guevara, who doesn't fit into the fucking group whatsoever because he's too fucking pretty. Instead, they have Andrade in the Don Callis Family. The worst of all of the options, they went and gave Andrade.
Alex Abrahantes.
Who? No. That you want that clown with fucking Andrade.
I just want a mouthpiece with this tag team. I'd have put him, because he was with the Lucha Bros, I'd have put him as the mouthpiece with Andrade and Roosh.
Now that wouldn't have worked.
I would have rather have had, again, I would rather have a young Latina female.
Yeah,
would have been great.
I don't know how difficult that, like you said, I don't know how difficult that would have been to go out there and research.
It cannot be too hard.
But,
bro, I mean, I feel like there's ease. I didn't even look yet. I should pull up the roster and look. I bet you have a Spanish-speaking female that can easily be a mouthpiece for these guys.
Well, maybe we should ex fucking Willie Washington over there. Every time I fucking see him, he's with a Latina female.
Oh my God.
Fucking ridiculous.
Man, sir. What do you mean?
I don't know, but they could have done a lot better there. Andrade's back.